Call of Duty. So, as some of y'all may or may not be familiar with, Battlefield 6 is coming out pretty soon. I don't remember what's the date. The didn't tell me the release date, and I also believe I typed it wrong. The 10th of October. So that's September, October. So that's basically a little over a month away until Battlefield is coming out. And Battlefield's biggest competition in its market is Call of Duty. Now, I would say that out of who wins in terms of not quality, but in terms of like brand name, brand recognition, 100% Call of Duty is more recognizable. It has broken more records, and in the past 10 years, like since 2011, Call of Duty has been one of the highest earning games of the year every year for over the past 10 years. So I don't think it's a stretch to say that Call of Duty is a bigger brand. Also, Call of Duty releases more frequently. So I put it like this when it comes to them. It's like comparing a Kendrick Lamar to a Drake. Like, does Drake have his great songs and his down songs? Yeah. Does Kendrick have his great songs and his down songs? Yeah. But the thing that makes them hard to compare is Kendrick drops once every 6 years. Drake, he's dropping 2-3 times a year every year. So it's quality versus quantity. Now, if we look at the data, Kendrick has had less listeners overall over time than Drake, because Drake has been releasing constantly. So people has always had something new to listen to. Same thing with Call of Duty. Call of Duty is always there every year, whether it's good, mediocre, great, or I wouldn't turn it off, but I wouldn't play it either. Battlefield 6, on the other hand, has been a different conversation. Besides the fact that when they drop their games, their games never work on launch since like Battlefield 3. When it gets past that period, the game is usually pretty good. Now, whether people are going back to give it a chance after that fuck up period is something different, but it's usually pretty good. But I say all that to say, I give you all that yappage to preface the statement. Call of Duty badly needs competition. And Battlefield being its competition makes them do shit like this. Call of Duty's U-turn on absurd cosmetics is proof that Battlefield 6 competition is really a good thing. Because I always mention it because it took me a while to realize it. But a while back, like probably 2023 or something like that, there was this creator. I forgot what his name is. But basically, he was made a bunch of a series where he was talking about a bunch of games that basically lost their identity, where the game was known as one thing, and then over time through updates and new additions, the game just lost its identity and became something different. And one of the games he mentioned was Call of Duty, and I was sitting there at first like, did Call of Duty lose its identity? Did it? And then after giving it some time, I looked back on that video and I'm like, yeah, Call of Duty did lose its identity. It went from being a realistic, whether it be World War II or like modern day warfare, military simulator, to I don't know what the fuck, an amalgamation of shooting of a. Oh, that's dog. It's been a amalgamation of fucking trend chasing with stuff like his battle royale mode, to them just adding fucking Beavis and Butthead skins. Like, niggas just started doing anything. And I've come to agree, and seeing this article just reinforces what I've been saying. That Call of Duty been as a franchise fell off, and Battlefield 6 is here to take them reins. But first, a bit of context. You may have seen all manner of wacky out there skins popping up across recent Call of Duty games and Warzone Call of Duty games. Beavis and Butthead, American Dad, Nicki Minaj. I know there's a 21 Savage skin. Like, just goofy shit that has nothing to do with the military. Like, if these niggas added a General E. Lee skin or some shit like that, I would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But it would make sense. But Nicki Minaj? Like, when they added the 21 Savage skin, I was like, you know what? 21 Savage is a hyper violent rapper. He's from Atlanta. He always talks about having guns, always being sticked up. That makes sense. But where does Beavis and Butthead running down on you with a big ass Glock 50 Desert Eagle or something, shooting you in your dome? Like, what the fuck? Why? Like, even Stan from American Dad, that one kind of makes sense. But Beavis and Butthead, Nicki Minaj, the one that was running around calling people stupid hoe, that's the person you added? That didn't make sense. Now, if they was adding rappers where it made sense, where it was on brand, like they added, for example, in addition to 21 Savage, let's say Young Nudie, let's say they add somebody like, I don't know, fucking a drill rapper like a Pop Smoke, a K-Flock, a D-Thang G's, something like that, that would make sense. But they just went off the rails and started adding random, unidentified what the fuck. And like I said, like I've been saying, they lost their identity, and Battlefield 6 is here to make them realize, hey, focus up. Tighten up on the gameplay systems. That's what you need to focus on. Oh, Snoop Dogg, that's another one. Messi. Like, what the fuck is a soccer player doing in a Call of Duty game? Like, I could understand if they had Gilbert Arenas and Call of Duty. If they had fucking him in Call of Duty, that would make sense. But Messi, like, this nigga is kicking balls and being accused of rape. What the fuck is he doing in Call of Duty? Like, Snoop Dogg? Like, I know Snoop Dogg is a rapper, and y'all over there at Call of Duty Studios, we know y'all are super racist, so y'all think every black is a gun-toting savage. But Call of Duty, like, Snoop Dogg has nothing to do with guns, being a military man, none of that shit. Like, why don't you go get a rapper that was famously in the military and put them in Call of Duty? Instead, you're just putting random niggas in Call of Duty. Snoop Dogg, because people know who he is. Man, fuck out of here. Cheap-looking Fallout vault suits have made a wasteland of what is left of the series' visual identity. There's no way they put Fallout and fucking Call of Duty. Fallout vault suits. Search. Call of... No, bitch! Fallout. No fucking way that's real. No fucking way that's real. What the fuck does Call of Duty have to do with Fallout? Like, I know they use guns in the Fallout franchise, but Fallout is not a very gun-focused game. Like, guns are a part of the storytelling of, oh, it's a post-apocalyptic setting, so of course people are going to use guns. But I wouldn't even say just most. 99% of the guns you use in Fallout are wacky amalgamations of guns that you would never see in Call of Duty. Like, in Call of Duty, you will never see a gun that shoots random pieces of trash like baby doll legs. Like, you will never see some shit like that in Call of Duty, or a gun that shoots teeth. What the fuck does that have to do with military man game? In fact, Fallout is a game that's specifically against the military and the industrial complex and all that other stuff. The fuck are you putting Fallout and Call of Duty for? That doesn't make sense. The brands don't align. Like, this is what I be saying. That shit lost its identity, lost its way for the name of the almighty dollar. And it doesn't matter, because you Call of Duty niggas, every year you're gonna buy Call of Duty 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You're gonna buy every game they shit out onto the stores, even though once every 5 years there's an actual new game. Like, bro, there's all these different shooters out here to play, and you niggas is stuck on Call of Duty. That's why I'm glad, like this article is saying, Battlefield 6 is giving them some competition, because they just been doing whatever the fuck and they had no real competition. Like, every game that has came out has been in a different enough genre for niggas to be like, I'm still gonna go back to my abusive relationship with Call of Duty. Battlefield 6, when y'all drop this game, it better not be crashing niggas PCs day one. Your game better work day fucking one, so that these niggas can get some competition. And they said they're gonna start releasing annually. Yeah, some real competition is about to enter the motherfucking building, nigga. The reason why these have become so popular is multifaceted, but to put it quickly and simply, because niggas will buy it. I already said that. And evening in an FPS is no longer just a tense firefight. It's an endeavor of self-expression. That's true, because there's a longer conversation I'm going to have in a different video about that. But the idea of online third spaces bothers me, because like online third spaces aren't necessarily age gated like how physical third spaces are. Because like, if you don't understand what a third space is, just think of the place you go to hang out with your homeboys and your homegirls. That's basically a third space. So like, teenagers, when they want to go hang out with other teenagers, there can also be an adult in that space. That, and I don't mean supervisory, I mean weirdo nigga. And I'm not talking about, oh, a 12-year-old hanging out with an 18-year-old. No. I'm talking about 18-year-old hanging out with a 45-year-old, or a 12-year-old hanging out with a 29-year-old. Like, third spaces where it's just teens hanging with teens, where the grown-ups are like, that's where the teens stay, I'm gonna go away from that. That shit is very sadly disappearing, and stuff like Call of Duty is adding to that. But like I said, longer conversation on that another day. A way for you to champion your fandom to the millions of other players doing the same. The developers and publisher profiting nicely from the neutered culture of seasonal spending. And again, see how they're talking about it again? Like I said, the cause of them putting dumb shit in the game is because they know you'll buy it, and they are a corporation. At the end of the day, their whole goal is to get you to buy shit. Companies will put anything in their game or do anything to get your dollar? What? Oh wait, wrong button. Companies will do anything to get your dollar? Like, you mean anything? Like, you mean any and everything is what they'll do to get your dollar? Like, they don't care about the morality or the brand identity or the art or none of that shit? They just want a dollar, so they gonna sell it? And wait. Are you telling me it's not the fault of the corporation, it's the fault of the people that buy it? I'm telling you, you Call of Duty niggas, you gotta stop buying these nigga turtle crossovers, bro. Anyway. The gaggle of British geezers until a little game called BF6 popped up. I think you pretty much get the context. Like this image being in a Call of Duty game, like that doesn't make sense. Like, the closest relation I can kind of guess is that Beavis and Butthead were a lot about video games, and Call of Duty is a video game they would have liked. Sure, but with the brand identity of Call of Duty as for being characters, nah. It would make more sense for Call of Duty to make a cameo appearance in an episode of Beavis and Butthead if they revive it again or whatever, but as skins, nah, that doesn't make sense. They're there because they'll know you'll buy it. Anyway, this one I kind of just wanted to mention in passing. The rest of this is pretty much a bunch of quick updates. I think the Elden Ring movie is going to be pretty good. For the simple fact that the dude who wrote it had to write a 160-page script with images just before he got to writing the real script. Because for those of y'all who don't know much about like the writing world for like writers of film and television or even books and stuff like that, the first script is not always the final script. If those publishers don't think that your first script is fucking amazing, they're gonna say, get out my face. We don't care. We don't want to hear shit you gotta say. Bye. Get out my face. So being that he had to write a script and that he took time to put pictures and stuff like that, I think this movie is gonna be good. It's gonna be more entertaining than the game is, personally. Cause like, I feel like the lore of Elden Ring, there's a lot there you can do with. If you ever wanted to be dripped out in Expedition 33 swag, here you go. I just thought this would be interesting to show. While I turn around and mention that Claire Expedition, Claire Obscura, whatever the fuck, Expedition 33 is gonna be a franchise, said the game director. I don't need to read the article. The title pretty much says it all. So if you like Expedition 33, maybe next year you'll be happy when you get to play Expedition 44 or whatever the fuck. The Outer Worlds 2. Oh, this one I just wanted to more so show because like I've been seeing a lot of articles like this of people saying they played the Outer Worlds 2 and they sitting there after they did their hour preview, they sitting at the booth watching somebody else play through with dry lips scratching their arm like, yo, that shit, yo, bro. I cash up you $20 right now to forfeit your turn. I just want to play again. You keep calling me. And then people is at one booth doing that, begging niggas. At another booth, people is getting hooked like this by the arm getting dragged out, screaming, no! Just one more turn! You've had 5 turns and we were letting you slide with 4. But 5, that's too much. So the bodyguards are dragging them out while they're like this arm by arm fight. No! So I've been seeing reports saying that this shit is going to be fire out of 10. Hey, that whole $70 scandal shit ain't going to persuade me to not spend my $70. I want to buy that game physically. Japanese government auction for used Nintendo dual screen listing suddenly disappears as the internet realizes, oops, those bundle games are actually flashcards and likely packed with pirated titles. I just wanted to fly over this because if this develops into a bigger story and Nintendo ends up suing the Japanese government, what's the parlay to over or under that Nintendo sues the fucking government? And this one I didn't read through, but let's look at it. Previously, players had to navigate a maze like blah 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 to refund a game. This meant clicking through links and links and links. Oh, so they basically are designing their interface to comply with the, I forgot what it was, but it's like one click to sign up, one click to defund or whatever. But there's a law in California. As for the entirety of the United States, it hasn't passed, but it did pass in California. One click to cancel, where basically it has to be just as easy to sign up for something as it is to get rid of it. So if it takes one click to sign up, it should take one click to say, give me my fucking money back. And that's what's going on here with PlayStation. They basically made it so that you click on your purchase and click refund, because before it was a fucking maze. And I like that. I don't know what the fuck took them so long, because Steam has had that as a policy where no questions asked. If you play the game if you've owned the game and you've never opened it, or you've played it for less than 2 hours and you've owned the game for less than 14 days, you could refund it, no questions asked. Steam will just give you your money back. They'll send the shit straight to your PayPal. However long it takes the payment to process is how long it takes for you to get your money back. That being said, if you are here in the stream, all you must do is reload your tab and I will be coming back.